Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Time to run another map. And this time we're gonna run the Marshes, which is the final map that we need to do in order to just unlock the bottom left side of the map, and then we can move forward and start looking forward to things like the burial chambers and the primordial pool. But first, the Marshes, and also Patch 2.4.0g just launched, and it includes a number of the mapping changes that were outlined in a recent post by GGG. And for example, there's a search now for maps, and if you have a map and you hover over it, it will highlight on the map where exactly it is. So there's a couple of small quality of life changes in there that will make your life hopefully better. So, Marshes, let's make something fun of it. So let's make it into there. We have elemental equilibrium. The monsters reflect physical damage. Monsters do extra cold damage, and their attacks chain. Well, why don't we do that? Let's have some fun with this. Yeah, we'll just ignore the other mobs because this is already a rare, and we'll activate it and see how far we get.
Embraced by mud, grasped by roots, the careless are silently swallowed.
So one of our prophecies triggered, Warmongers 2, you will defeat the roaming warbands. So just gonna look if we can find an outside of the map, or did we? Yeah, okay, looks like we just spawned in the dead center of the map, so we're just gonna have some fun here. And see how badly the damage reflection hurts us. We've run one reflection map so far, and that wasn't so bad. And from the looks of it, that judgment still applies. Let's see. Kill you. Okay. Looks like we found the outsides of the map. Now it's time to just slowly work our way around the edges and then just work our way inwards. I'm curious to see what they're doing. Okay, these are red blades, skull breakers, and skull breakers. Whoa. That was them. So, speaking of some weird performance glitchiness happening, today GGG, the devs, you know what I mean with GGG, they announced that they are working on 3 patches, patch 2.4.1, 2.4.2 and 2.4.3, which they intend to release in roughly the next 6 weeks. One of them is basically going through quality assurance right now, which is 2.4.1, which mostly includes performance, not performance, but includes mapping quality of life changes. So a couple of the things have already been added, like the map highlighting on the Atlas map, things like the search. But they're also working on rebalancing things like Atsiri. I believe she used to respect the drops, how you unlock things, so you would only drop unlocked maps. And they're gonna change it that Atsiri will now drop a extra map that ignores what you have unlocked, so you can find maps you haven't unlocked yet via that method, which is interesting. Personally haven't done Atsiri ever, but the rationale they described was that if you're focusing heavily on Atsiri, then it will hinder your map progress. Also, they have a caster here. It will hinder your map progress, and by granting you random unlocks or random maps, it effectively allows you to get map progression from doing Atsiri, which I guess makes sense. Also, we are getting pretty full. But those changes, they should be out pretty soon if they're gonna put it through quality assurance. Well, of course, depending on if there's major issues they discover or not. Then for 2.4.2, they don't have an expected release date yet, but that's they currently have 3 channeling skills in the works. They wanted to release them with Essence League and Essence of Worlds, but they weren't happy with how the skills performed, how they worked, so they took them back to the drawing board. So that's where 2.4.2 is going to come in to add 3 new skills. As far as I know, no information is known about those skills, so it's going to be a complete mystery. I knew they were working on skills. They publicly said so. And obviously they expected to release the skills originally with the Atlas of Worlds. That's why they hinted at it and things like that. And well, for a while I did reserve judgments, I postponed my choice of what to play, depending on what I would release in terms of skills. Because if there's new skills, then obviously I would like to play with them. Well, no, there's now they're releasing the mid league, which is on the one hand it's nice that they're still pushing through. On the other hand, it might be that it's a bit like too little, too late, and they could have postponed it to the next league. Just from a also just from a PR point of view. I mean, usually halfway through the league, the game has a pretty low amount of exposure. So adding new skills to coincide with the new league might help them just gain a little bit more traction. On the other hand, doing it halfway through a league, it might also help them revitalize the game a little bit during that mid-league slump. So we'll see. I'm definitely curious to see if it has any impact on things like player retention and things like that. But no, we know nothing about them. They're working on it. They want to release them somewhere in the next 6 weeks, but they haven't pinned themselves down on a timeline, obviously, because they're still working on it. So we shall just see. And oh, we're full again. Yeah. So last but certainly not least, patch 2.4.3 is a performance patch, and it's not just any performance patch. They're launching a 64-bit client that will also use DirectX 11. So that's going to be a pretty massive performance increase, is what they have stated. But obviously you need to have a 64-bit capable machine and a DirectX 11 capable machine, which I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it might require Windows 10. I know there was a version of DirectX that kind of came packaged with which was a quote-unquote selling feature of Windows 10. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm really happy about just more performance improvements. Especially as someone who records their gameplay while I'm playing the game and while the game is just throwing a whole lot of very shiny stuff and explosions at me. On my other screen, I also have the capturing software running, of course, which just encodes 1440p video at 60 frames per second in real time. So well, it puts quite some extra stress on my CPU while playing. So any performance improvements that the game will offer me, I'll gladly take them. Because it just means that the frame rate is gonna be smooth at 60 for more of the time. I have to say the performance improvements that they added with the Atlas of Worlds expansion, well, actually the multi-threading before Atlas of Worlds, that already fixed a lot. It's the changes they made with Atlas of Worlds, with some part of the graphics engine, the particle engine. I'm not entirely sure if that's related to some of the freezes, but it might be. So that definitely could use some work. But if they're already working on the DirectX 12 64-bit version, and obviously a lot of their attention is focused on that one, and it might fix a lot of issues that people might be having currently. So Oh, pretty good assumption. If you have a relatively recent computer or a relatively modern computer, then chances are you will be able to use the new client and you'll gain some performance improvements. So I really hope that it will help a lot of people, especially people who have older machines or just machines that are generally less powerful. I hope it will just help them enjoy the game more. Well, it's good to see that things like that are coming in. And they're aiming for the 2.4.3 patch to be about a month before 2.5.0, before the next leak. And most of the time...
did not return, so more have followed their path, bringing war with them.
Navali, shush. Thank you. So most of the time, they have a release cadence of once every 3 months. So the next big update is going to be scheduled for early December. So that means if they want to get the performance patch out, the 64-bit client, if they want to get that one out in time, then it's going to be early in November. And we have a boss fight here. Interesting. So let's put up a panic portal if we need it and see what we are going to face inside. So this is a map I haven't ever seen. Might be new, it might be a reskin of a higher level map that just got reduced or something. So I have no idea what we're gonna face here. Zombies, is that's a guy with a hammer. Is that parkour? Thor, Towering Ancient. Okay. So that's Sunder. Okay. Oh, we can't tank him pretty well. So we're just gonna do that. The interesting bit is that I don't really feel compelled to use any of my defensive gloves either. Or any of my defensive flasks. Okay, what is up with the loot filling up so quickly? Oh, that one. Oh, we had a unique, of course, I should identify it. Gold Rim. Evasion rating, 10% increased rarity, 37% to all elemental resistances. That's pretty nice. And a whole whooping 4 points of physical damage reflected to melee attackers. That'll teach him. Oh, but early on, this is... No, it doesn't require anything. And it gives you 37 to all elemental resist. This is a great starter helmet. It can literally go on any character. That's pretty darn cool. Hey, we still have 3 portals and we still have over 50 mobs remaining, so we are gonna clean house. Dragon Scale Boots, oh, we're using uniques, so there is no point for that. I kept wanting to click that one because it looks like a clickable grave. And I really should have stayed there to actually click that chest. Slightly too quick for my own goods. So yeah, 82% increased item quantity, yeah, that helps, and 29 increased rarity. All those things, they do conspire to fill up your inventory rather quickly. Some zombies. Still very satisfying just to get groups of mobs exploding, though I have to say I don't enjoy the tar. Ooh, her mask, of course. That's the standard card you get just about every map. I already have enough utility flasks. I believe we've done the upper sides. Let's just keep pushing. Or, yeah. Picked up something I didn't want to. Yeah, that one. Okay. There's a bit over here. Well, it's not just a bit, it's quite a bit of these spider things. And shared boom. We can deal with that. Once you get them exploding, they start exploding. Another her mask. Well, sooner or later I will find the fourth piece that's always been elusive. I might actually do something with it. So, as far as I understand, if you're gonna go into Atsiri's temple, it's interesting and challenging, and people are always doing creative things like having specific flasks setups and things like that. So we'll just have to see how that's gonna work out. It feels a bit like an exam where you actually have to specifically prepare in order to go through, rather than just winging it, which is usually more my style. I tend to just wing things. Works pretty well. But anyway, we have completed the Marshes. So this one is now good. We're up to 13 out of 125. So that's over 10% of all the maps completed, or at least of all the objectives. So for next time we'll have to see. Do I actually have one of these maps unlocked yet? Can we combine this? No. You can't combine your stash with the map overview. Wait, we got a quarry. Have you done the pit yet? I don't think so. Pit is an upgraded version of level 1, isn't it? Waste pool we've already done. This we've done. Tower I believe is on the other side. Let's have a quick look. What do we have? So, oh, the quarry is adjacent, so that's on the menu. The pit is where we made the creative choice of adding lots and more lots of demons to the boss fight, which turned out to be rather painful. But no, we did kill the boss, so we did get credit for that one. The tower is not on the left side of the map, and neither is the oasis. So these are maps that I'm not gonna run for this series. I'll save those for my totem monster, which we're currently running through Essence League with. So no, we just reached Act 1 Merciless with that, almost Act 2 Merciless. So in about a week or so, or maybe 2-ish, probably a week, we should be at the point where we might even start running maps there. So now we got to see the other side of the world. The pit is a rerun, and the quarry is for next world. We'll have to see. We got Primordial Pool and Boreal Chambers, so I might actually have to have a look at running some of the adjacent maps. I think I got quite some waste pools. I might get into Primordial. No, I want to see if we can do all the tier 5s that are adjacent, and then after that we move onwards to the tier 6s. But that way we keep a slow progression rather than racing ahead and then feeling like we're backtracking. Because, well, there's quite a bunch of maps that we eventually will have to go through. But for now, that was it. So I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.